Butterlancer versus Mike. Warriors of Chaos against Dwarves. We do have Sigvald and Aekold. Sigvald and Sigvald Light teamed up to make the Foot Lord healing combo of Doom. Versus the Dwarves. We have 5 Marauders with great weapons, 4 Chaos Warriors with great weapons, Sigvald the Magnificent with Auric Armor for his healing, Paragon of Excess, -5 melee attack, and that's really it. Then we have Aekold Hellbrass with his own regeneration and perfect vigor, and then the Wind Blade. Haven't seen that yet. 2 Marauder Horsemen throwing axes, a Chaos Sorcerer of Shadows with Pit of Shades and Forbidden Rod, and then a Hell Cannon. I really don't like Forbidden Rod on non-undead casters. It does a lot of damage to your finite health casters with no healing, so I really don't like it personally. And the Soul of Damnation Hell Cannon that still, in fact, sucks. It gets a huge shot on the Iron Drakes just as I say that, but my buddy Lenorm used it recently and it did nothing. For the Dwarves, we have 2 Longbeards with great weapons, the Grumbling Guard Longbeards with great weapons, Regiment of Renown, 2 Thunderers, 2 Hammerers, including the Peak 8 Guard, a Cannon, a Flame Cannon, Giant Slayers, and Thoric Ironbrow. Flame Cannons are murdering some Marauders, and regular cannons are firing back at the Hell Cannon, which will shut it down soon. It fires its 3rd shot onto the Thunderer, scores a hit, so it scored 3 out of 3 hits, which is a shocking level of accuracy considering its recent performance. Flame Cannon's firing, unfortunately, at like the worst possible Marauder model in this whole unit, but it's doing its best. Still overall crushing these guys. Another Hell Cannon shot. There's a miss. We got there. Spinning Blade of Aekold goes out. Does next to no damage. Master Rune of Slowness is going to slow down Sigvald, allow the Grumbling Guard to catch up to him. Looks like that's what he slowed him down for. So these elite armor-piercing dwarves could get in here and do some good work. They do, unfortunately, only have 33 melee attack when they're next to him because of the Paragon of Excess. But they'll try. They'll do their best. Thunderers firing at the Chaos Warriors on their way in, and Flame Cannons also doing well. Meanwhile, Marauder Horsemen throwing axes are harassing the flanks, and they could honestly just sprint into melee right now. The Flame Cannon and the regular cannon have been left dangerously exposed. The Giant Slayers went forward instead of defending their backline, so that could be a bit of a whoopsie, but Chaos is going to stay in ranged mode and fire. I have to think that's a little bit of a mistake, but shit happens, right? Hell Cannon in the distance down to 8. Oh, yeah, it's at 8 models, so they're, the Dwarven Cannon killed the Hell Cannon model for sure. Longbeards with great opens getting collapsed down by the Chaos Warriors' great opens. And now these guys are retreating under fire. They really should have run into melee, because now they're just getting fucked up. Nice Pit of Shades, though. It's the Thunderers, does good work. Aekold and Sigvald are pushing through the Grumbling Guard, taking very little damage, and they even have Chaos Warriors backing them up, as Thoric Ironbrow and his Giant Slayers crush some Chaos Warriors. Tragic loss of the Skirmish Cab on the backside, however, as both the Cannon and the Flame Cannon are still online. Sigvald and Mr. Hellbrass are here, damaging the Thunderers quite a bit. And the Iron Drakes have survived up to this point, though they are again beset by Chaos Warriors. Just flamethrowing them right in the face. My god. Go, Aekold, go! Go, Aekold, go! Zoop, zoop. Flame Cannons might be in a bit of trouble as the heroic duo deal with them, but the Peak 8 Guard are here, and the Peak 8 Guard don't fuck around. Armor Sundering, magic attacks, armor piercing, and even when they're debuffed by Sigvald, still 52 melee attack, but a big Pit of Shades is going to land right on the Peak 8 Guard. Good dodge attempt here from them. They'll still get caught in it. It looks like it's not overcast. It's hard to tell these days, but that might not be overcast. Still a really good amount of damage and a great Pit of Shades. That is brutal for the Dwarves. Dwarves are still up on the balance of power right now. They have a cannon fully healthy with a ton of ammunition that's inflating their balance of power because I really don't think the cannon's going to get out that much damage right now. For Chaos, we still have some Chaos Warriors around. Just a bit. And then we have their 2 single entities at full HP, and their Shadows Caster is doing fine. Iron Drake's trying to fire in, but they'll do more harm than good at this point, so they definitely should not be shooting into this little battle as the P-Gate Guard gets slammed by Aekold. And his Whirling Blade hits the Thunderers, who are just firing at the Marauder Horsemen, who again shatter. The Marauder Horsemen are unfortunately being used as purely ranged units rather than hybrid melee and range, because they could run in on these cannons right now and just kill them outright. Flame Cannons still holding, still firing. Nice last shot from them, as Sigvald and Aekold are so close they could spit at you. The regular Hammerers are fighting against Sigvald and Aekold now, chipping down their health. I have no idea how much damage they've actually been doing, because these guys just slowly regenerate over time. And there we go, the Marauder Horsemen jump into melee for just a second, knock the cannon crew off their mounts, and take them down to half HP. That's what I want to see. So some Longbeards, some Giant Slayers still running around. The Hell Cannon crew is here. And the Grumbling Guard hanging on to their leadership as they hang out next to Thoric. Chaos Warriors, the Grandpa's charging in, but I think they might be on their way out as well. What is this, another Pit of Shades? Another Pit of Shades. These must all be undercast, because I think, does Overcast increase its cooldown? I don't know. Ooh, this could be scary. Cannons are turning to fire at the Chaos Sorcerer of Shadows. Dwarven cannons are decently accurate, but especially at this range versus a horse character, they'll be just fine. They should be able to hit him. Chaos falling further behind in the balance of power. Flame Cannon still online. Still going. Using its leadership debuff to good effect to keep chain routing these guys. Shadows Caster is going to dive in and take care of matters himself. Gets the crew off the Flame Cannon for now, though he's currently surrounded by Giant Slayers. We'll want to be getting out of there as soon as possible. Thunder is getting beat up by Sigvald and Aekold. And Warriors of Chaos are just desperately trying to get their forces back together and do something here. Alright. Can anything the Dwarves have kill Siggy and Aekold? Let's find out. Cannon's trying to fire uphill on our friend the Chaos Sorcerer of Shadows. Rune of Slowness will hit him. It's a Master Rune of Slowness. Minus 60 speed. Percent. Currently getting poked at. Giant Slayers stuck fighting these Marauders with great weapons. But if Thoric throws out his Rune of Doom, they could have good enough stats to maybe get good shots onto Sigvald. Maybe. Flame Cannon still firing. I am shocked. The Sorcerer of Shadow's taking so much damage. Oh, and the Forbidden Rod! No, he did it to himself! He has 17 seconds left of that thing damaging him. Oh, no. That's a tragedy. So he's gonna rout, but, like, look how much damage it keeps doing to him. So much fucking damage, man. It's done, like, 200 damage to him since we started watching. Cannonball hits him. That guy's mega fucked. Flame Cannon finally routs. And the last vestige of Chaos support fights Hammerers and Longbeards on the high ground next to Thoric. They are losing that fight currently. Sorcerer of Shadows is pushed off for now. Thunderers and Iron Drakes are back. Still trying to poke in a little bit where they can. Last of the Chaos Warriors routes. And the cannons, despite being under attack, are firing valiantly at the Chaos Sorcerer of Shadows, trying to make sure there's no more Pit of Shades on their elite units, as 2 out of the 4 cannon models have been destroyed by Sigvald and Aekold themselves. Thunderers are trying to poke. Cannons are trying to fire with guard mode on. It's not really working out for them. For the Dwarves, they have the Peak 8 Guard, regular Hammerers, Longbeards with great weapons, more Longbeards with great weapons, Giant Slayers, and Thoric Ironbrow. And he really needs to throw out that Rune of Doom if he has it. I haven't seen it in a while, but it would be nice. Aekold gets Sundered Armor from the Peak 8 Guard hitting him at some point. And if we can get that Rune of Doom, man, it would buff up so many of these guys' stats so much that they could actually get through the 60 and 50 melee defense of these guys. Chaos Sorcerer of Shadows is almost off the map. Doesn't look like he will be returning now. I thought I saw something, but I guess not. Aekold's doing a bunch of cool animations. Zipping and zooping and flooping around as it kills Slayers and such, but he is at half HP in the blink of an eye. Being surrounded by Hammerers and stuff is not sitting well with old Hellbrass. His healing cap appears, and he's taking pretty good damage. There's the Rune of Doom. This is the time, my Dwarven brethren. This is the time. Kick his ass. I want to get his health bar. There it is. Yeah, he's getting chunked out as he tries to swing. He's struggling at it. 2,300 health. 2,000 health. And the dwarves are rising on the balance of power. Aekold routs. He routs, leaving Sigvald all alone. Iron Drakes. And the cannons are back online. Iron Drakes and the cannons firing at Marauders with great weapons, who are now shattered. But if the cannons could fire at Aekold while he retreats, that would be huge. Giant Slayer's trying to chase him. Cannons are indeed going to turn and do just that as Sigvald chases these guys out as well. Some Hammerers have rallied. Iron Drakes trying to get enough burnt debuff to get Aekold back to negative leadership so he continues to rout. Cannons firing in on him, knocks him off his feet, gets a little bit of poke damage, but his leadership is still positive and these Giant Slayers are on his ass. But their health is so low, I wonder if we get that bullshit thing where like he routs in their face because they aren't enough of a balance of power difference or whatever. He's negative on leadership, he's back to 0, he's still healing up as he runs, and the cannon is firing at him. Meanwhile, Thoric and his boys chasing down Sigvald, getting good damage out there. The cannon has stopped firing now. Don't know why. It definitely needs to keep firing at Aekold. Giant Slayers are right on him. For now, they seem to be enough to keep him routing. This cannon needs to be firing. This is a gigantic mistake from the dwarves. Yeah, and he routs right in their face. I was worried that might happen because of bullshit balance of power things. Now the cannon's firing again, but it's stalled way too long. If it had been shooting him while he was running, it maybe could have kept his leadership low enough that he would have been routing naturally anyway. -6 leadership on him. Back to +3. He's healing up all the while. Giant Slayer's fighting it out with him. Only 3 models left on those guys, though. As Thoric retreats back to his cannons, it looks like he just wants to get everybody back in his aura. Because he has the aura... He should, at least. He didn't bring it. Oh, he didn't bring his Perfect Vigor aura. So without the Grumbling Guard, these guys actually don't get Perfect Vigor. That is a disaster for the dwarves. You need to bring his Perfect Vigor aura. Alright, well, they're trying to regroup and get their vigor back the old-fashioned way. Iron Drakes, 72 HP, 2 models, firing at Sigvald on his way in, just doing what little damage they can, and Aekold is healing up while under cannon fire. Siggy dives in, he's after those Iron Drakes. Bap! Kills them both in 1 strike. No more of that nonsense. Cannons hit Aekold again, knocking his shields down, even getting a little bit of health damage. Oh no. The Rune of Doom was popped before the melee was engaged. That is a huge waste. And Sigvald is running uphill into the cannons. He will shut them down. Balance power is pretty heavily in the dwarves' favor, but I couldn't disagree more. This is looking maybe doomed at this point. Cannons fire downhill at him, but both miss Sigvald. And now Thoric is trying to go get Aekold. But he's not going to be able to catch him. Aekold does 2 speed more even while he's wounded. Rune of Wrath and Ruin, actually appropriately timed to try and knock him down. Yeah, that was cool. That was pretty nice. I like that. Sigvald trying to rout the cannon crew. And Thoric is now in range. He gets a swing at Aekold, but manages to miss. And now the doors are falling behind him as he starts to break away. Cannon does rout. He's healing up. He rejoins Sigvald. And he throws his dancing blade back into the dwarves, getting a little hit. Doesn't do very much damage, but it might be enough to rout them. I don't see what can kill Sigvald now. These guys are all so low. Sigvald is in, fighting Thoric all alone. And now Hellbrass is isolated with a Master Rune of Slowness. Then he just spin slashes through these Hammerers, including the Peak Guard. But Thoric is going to isolate him. And some Longbeards are sacrificed to Sigvald, but the Hammerers go with Thoric to try and finish off Aekold. And they're doing alright damage to him. He's back at 1,000 HP, kind of where he has been for the last 45 minutes. Sub 1,000 now. Peak Guard barely holding on. Thoric's landing huge shots onto this Hellbrass fella. I think he's only routed once. I think he can rout again without shattering, but we'll see. Hellbrass down to 600 HP. And now Thoric is alone. Cannon crew trying to get back to their mounts, but Aekold won't have it. Bounce power now goes back to the middle, but Sigvald should be able to style on Thoric. Sigvald is heel capped. Aekold is not yet, but yeah, they're beating up Thoric so bad, man. He cannot live against such reckless warriors of chaos. Aekold takes another nasty shot, but he will survive for now. Throws his magical spinning blade into the P8 guard. Knocking a lot of them down. Not getting a ton of damage out. Aekold is routed. Thoric's trying to hit him. He's walking into the boy. Gets another hit in. Can he get one more? Can he get another one? Routes off Aekold at 50 HP. Turns on Sigvald. 4,500 hit points left for him, but as the P8 guards shatter, Thoric also falls apart. Sigvald did great. Shadowscaster did pretty well. Aekold honestly did fine. Hell Cannon did well. Chaos Warriors struggled super hard, and I have also had that experience. Marauders of Great Open struggled. They did okay. Not great. Which has also been my experience. Marauder Horsemen Throwing Axes did fine. For Mike, Thoric did well. The Hammerers honestly did fine. Giant Slayers did fine. Flame Cannon did awesome. Cannon did awesome. And Longbeards did okay. Thunderers did okay. And the Andrake Flamethrower variant did not do a lot. GG. Roar.
Subscribe, yes, yes.